If you're anything like me, you value clarity, autonomy, and rational agency. You've likely encountered ritual in contexts of dogma, magical thinking, or coercive religious environments, and you've rightfully rejected it. The idea of adopting rituals for your personal development might feel like a betrayal of that rational foundation, a slip toward the mystical thinking you've worked hard to avoid in your own life. However, you may be mistaken about what ritual actually is. Your hesitation is understandable. It's a sophisticated cognitive immune system protecting your personal philosophy from contamination. But it may also be preventing you from accessing one of the most powerful tools for building discipline and identity. These are tools the ancient Stoics used, though they never called them rituals outright. Hey there, it's me, Core, and you're listening to Exercising Self-Control from Fitness to Flourishing. Ritual, stripped of supernatural claims, is simply a behavioral algorithm, a repeatable sequence of actions designed to reliably produce a specific psychological or behavioral state. It's not magic, it's cognitive efficiency. When you perform a structured pre-task sequence, you're not invoking mystical forces. You're leveraging well-documented psychological mechanisms, state shifting, attentional priming, and identity reinforcement. These aren't speculative. They're how your mind and brain actually function. Neuroscience confirms this. Repeated, structured actions reliably alter physiology and attention. Athletes use pre-competition routines not because they're superstitious. Well, at least not simply because they're superstitious, but because these routines narrow focus, stabilize emotion, and prime the identity they're about to embody. The mechanism is transparent and measurable. The ritual works because it works, not because it's magical. Here's what rational ritual actually does. Identity reinforcement. When you perform a ritual, you enact a role. Perform it consistently, and that role becomes your identity. A person who is disciplined acts differently than a person who tries to be disciplined. Ritual makes identity embodied and physical. The principle extends beyond the gym. A morning reflection ritual reinforces your identity as someone committed to virtuous self-control. A decision-making framework ritualized into your workday reinforces your identity as someone who acts with integrity. The ritual doesn't create the identity, it embodies it, making it tangible and automatic. A ritual creates symbolic compression. Symbols and structured sequences condense complex goals into actionable cues. Instead of holding an abstract commitment to, in quotes, exercise with excellent form and technique, a specific workout sequence, a particular breathing pattern, a mental statement, and a physical posture compress that intention into something your non-conscious processes can grasp and execute. This reduces cognitive load and increases consistency of performance. Ritual triggers attentional priming. Once a symbol or sequence is linked to a goal, your mind automatically scans for related opportunities. This is the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon applied deliberately. For example, when you decide to buy a particular brand of car, you suddenly see that model everywhere. Not because they appeared out of nowhere, but because your brain has decided it's important. In a similar way, your ritual keeps your intention active in the background, shaping what you notice and how you respond. Rituals create temporal structure. They create predictable checkpoints in time. This reduces decision fatigue and increases adherence. You don't decide whether to perform your ritual. It's simply what you do. The structure itself becomes the discipline. Here's what makes this compatible with virtue-based living. The ancient Stoics were ritualists. They just didn't call it that. Marcus Aurelius engaged in morning reflections. Epictetus taught premeditatio malorum, that is, rehearsing adversity through structured mental practice. The Stoics used written exercises, repeated maxims, and physical postures to reinforce their philosophy. These were functionally rituals, repeatable sequences designed to produce specific psychological states aligned with virtue. You're not adding something foreign or irrational to your life with the use of ritual. You are restoring an essential element. Any distaste you have for mysticism isn't an obstacle. It's a safeguard. It ensures that any ritual you adopt must be transparent, grounded in psychology, philosophically coherent, and free of metaphysical claims. Your skepticism forces you to design rituals that are truly rational, embodied reason, not doctrine. This is the integration that virtue-based living demands. Discipline made physical, intention made actionable, identity made tangible, all without surrendering the rational agency you fight to preserve. That's it for today. Catch you next time.